What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and you guys have already heard the news that broke earlier on this morning. Adam Thielen, the hometown kid, is coming back to the Minnesota Vikings, and here are the full trade details here. The Vikings giving up a fifth-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-round pick in 2027, and then they get the hometown kid, Mr. Golden Gloves, Adam Thielen. And they also got in return a 2026 seventh-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. Now, I will say I see a lot of people kind of freaking out over the draft capital. You necessarily just move down a round in 2027. Cool with that. And then just move down 2 rounds in 2026. This all equates on the point scale for draft picks to the Vikings giving up a fourth-round pick. Well, what did the Vikings get this offseason? For Daniel Jones leaving, they got a fourth-round pick. So I am absolutely in love with this deal. I think this was a great move by the Vikings, and Adam Thielen returns home. And if you guys want to show him some love, type those 19s down below in the comments section, as we got Z Cool in the building saying, would it still be possible to get Tyreek Hill? Nah, probably not. I think Tyreek Hill is out of the equation right now. But the cornerback room, yeah, they should be making a move there, only having 4 corners on the roster. But type those 19s as we let the audience build up here. Going live early on a Wednesday. We're also going to be going live tomorrow on the channel, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. As we do have some breaking NFL news right now. Kyle Hamilton getting a mega extension, 4 years, $100 million. Remember when the Vikings drafted Lewis Cine over Kyle Hamilton? That was one of the worst decisions they have ever made, but hey, type those 19, show Adam Thielen some love. We got Big in the building. Henry saying Skull. Ronnie giving me a 19. CIC Gamer giving me a 19. JFR typing those 19. Shout out to all of you guys. Yeah, you guys didn't get a push notification when we were going live. A little unfortunate, but that is okay. Appreciate all the real ones for hanging out with us as we talk about Adam Thielen returning to Minnesota. Now, the Vikings will also pay the entire $7 million, so their cap space should be around $25 million still for this upcoming season. This was coming in from Seifert, saying the Vikings will pay all of Adam Thielen's remaining compensation for 2025, roughly around $7 million. So the Vikings will still have around $25 million to spend, which I think should be used for a corner. Now, there's one guy I have in mind, Alontae Taylor of the New Orleans Saints. He's a hell of a corner. He would be a perfect scheme fit for Brian Flores, can get up, play some press man. He is one of the most underrated corners in the league, I believe. And with the Saints kind of being on a fire sale, they're not expecting to win a lot of games this upcoming season. Maybe he could be on the trade block. Didn't grade out too well last year, but he's a physical corner. So watch out for a guy like Alontae Taylor to possibly get picked up. But with the Vikings only keeping 4 guys in their cornerback room, you got to assume a move is coming. Like, they're not going to roll out there week 1 with Isaiah Rodgers, Byron Murphy, Dwight McGlothern, and Jeff Okudah. So hopefully they make another move, but I think this was just a fantastic move. Dust off those 19 jerseys. Awesome clips are already coming out of Mrs. Thielen was recording her daughter's reaction, and her daughter started freaking out crying, and Adam was obviously saying, we're coming home. So, obviously the storyline there, makes this so sweet, but also the on-the-field impact of Thielen. This guy still got it. The last 2 years in Carolina, he was still very, very productive for Bryce Young. Now, I think he deserves a lot of credit for Bryce Young, obviously not looking too good to start his NFL career. Adam Thielen played a massive part on him kind of getting his footing in the NFL. He was a great safety blanket for the Carolina Panthers. So TBD on if the Vikings will re-sign him. Apparently they're going to work on a revised contract. Now, I could see the Vikings just giving him, an extra year. So it's just going to come out to be a 2-year deal. That's what I would anticipate the Vikings end up doing. But overall, awesome move, man. Awesome move. And Richard Winter saying, I'm excited for the second take on 3 deep ball, baby. Let's go. Shout out to you. Do you think they'll re-sign 19? I'm guessing they will. I don't know when this news will break. Probably pretty quickly within the next 24 hours on what the Vikings do with his contract. This is just awesome, man. Adam Thielen back there. JFR in the building. Shout out to you. Typing those 19s. Over 100 people hanging out with us. If you guys haven't already, go down there. Hit that thumbs up icon. We're at 20 likes right now. If we could get up to 30 likes, that would be fantastic. As Jason saying, the locker room just got that much better. And, I'm going to have to contain myself this season because if the Vikings start off hot, knowing myself, I'm going to be starting to think about the storybook ending for Adam Thielen and Harrison Smith, two guys who are legends in this Vikings organization. With this team trying to go out there and win a Super Bowl this upcoming year, imagine they go out on top. Imagine the Vikings could somehow get to the Super Bowl, just get to the NFC Championship game. Like, it would be truly just special, special stuff there. But as we also got more breaking news here, Rashee Rice is accepting and will serve a 6-game suspension to start the 2025 NFL season. So Kyle Hamilton getting a mega contract extension, and then Rashee Rice getting a 6-game suspension. So he gets double the amount of games as Jordan Addison. Honestly, I think with Rashee's case, probably should have been 8 to 12 games, but he'll serve that for the first 6 games. So anybody playing fantasy football, there's some impact there. 6-game suspension for Rashee Rice. As Big O saying, best trio. Is this the best trio in the National Football League? I mean, it's definitely up there. Like, when they're fully healthy. Like, just having Addison and Jefferson definitely makes it one of the better ones. The best one, I mean, if you're looking at these 3 guys, like, you can make the argument for it. As they got that old school headshot. That's probably 30-year-old Adam Thielen in that one. Not the 35-year-old that he is right now. But, I mean, they're definitely up there, one of the best wide receiver trios in the league. I mean, the route running ability between these 3 is going to be unbelievable. And you just think about the Vikings offense as a whole. McCarthy, you got 2 good backs. You got a very much improved offensive line. And now you got these weapons with Thielen, Addison, Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Kevin O'Connell calling the shots. Like, good luck trying to guard these guys. Now, for week 1, what's the depth chart going to look like? I'm guessing it will be this. Now, still a question mark on wide receiver 3 for week 1. We're waiting on the injury update for Jalen Naylor, but I'm assuming he's not going to be able to go. So week 1, it will probably be Justin Jefferson, obviously. Adam Thielen, wide receiver 2. Then I do think it will be Ty Felton as wide receiver 3. I'm guessing. Now, maybe it's Miles Price, but I think they just kept Miles Price to be the punt returner. They also got Tim Jones there, but again, that's just mainly a special teams guy. So I'm assuming these are going to be 3 wide receivers. Now, I will say for week 1, expect a lot of 2 tight end sets from the Minnesota Vikings. I think Josh Oliver should be out there on the field a good amount with TJ Hawkinson, but also Adam Thielen. He's already got a connection with the quarterback. That's why this was just such a perfect fit, because the Vikings needed to bring in a guy who was, one, going to understand the offense very quickly. He already knows the offense. He played in this offense. He's already played next to Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the league. So he knows how to man that wide receiver 2 role, and he obviously knows how to man the wide receiver 3 role as well. But he already has that connection with JJ McCarthy. They've worked out the last 2 off seasons, and this is what Adam Thielen actually had to say about JJ 2 off seasons ago. So this was when JJ was just getting into the NFL. He said he's a great kid. You don't realize that he's 21 years old when you're talking to him and when you're hanging around him. He's got a maturity about him that you can tell goes beyond his age. And that's step number 1 as a quarterback, right? To have that maturity level, have that kind of poise or kind of that aura around you that just feels confident. And he's just a good person. So I've really enjoyed being around him for the little time that I've been able to be around him. So clearly Thielen already has some love for JJ McCarthy. They've been working out the past 2 off seasons. Now, JJ, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but JJ actually bought Adam Thielen's old house in Minnesota. Does JJ give that back up, or is Thielen going to have to find a new crib? Now, he still got, I think, that one house. I forget where it's at, but it's just an unbelievable story. 19 returning. Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys still have your Adam Thielen jerseys? You guys be bringing them back out this year? I think I might have to rock mine for week 1 of the season, but we'll see. As there was also reports around the Green Bay Packers yesterday. Apparently, they have a mega offer for Micah Parsons on the table, giving him $45 million a year. I doubt this trade's going to get done. I'm assuming Jerry's going to want to keep him. Now, I don't think Micah's going to play week 1. I don't think a contract's going to come to fruition before then, but anything can happen with Jerry Jones. Who knows what that guy's thinking over there in Dallas. But we got Vikings news today saying, Scholes, shout out to you. To be honest, I'm so happy the Vikings did bad in 2023, 2024. Yeah, I ended up getting Dallas Turner and JJ McCarthy. As I'm not Dev saying, bro, you're one of the first people reporting on Thielen coming back stuff. Good stuff. We just got reports this entire offseason about Thielen potentially coming back and ended up coming back. So this is just awesome stuff. Now, also, if you guys want to support the show, Super chat icon down below at the bottom of the live chat. If you guys are trying to have some fun today, great way to help us out here. So I'd appreciate it if you guys could support the show via super chat. But if not, we can just hang out, rock and roll. We'll be live for probably the next 40-ish minutes or so, just chopping it up about the Minnesota Vikings, Adam Thielen. But if you guys want to get your thoughts up on screen, you guys got a question, you guys got a hot take, or you guys just want to get your thoughts about the Adam Thielen trade up on screen next to me, super chat icon down below. Great way to help support the show. Kingston saying, I think we win the Super Bowl now with him. Yeah, that'd be awesome with Super Bowl with Thielen. Now, I think just the attention now shifts to the cornerback spot because the Vikes only have 4 corners on the roster. They're not rolling in the week 1 with those 4 guys. So I fully expect a move to be made. I don't know how big of a fish they're trying to get at the cornerback position. Maybe they pick up a guy on waivers today, Juju Brents, former second-round pick. The Colts let him go. But again, like if you're picking up a corner on waivers, it's not really changing too much how you feel about this cornerback room. I would rather have the Vikings go out there. You still have 11 picks for next draft. Like 2026, the only thing that happened was you dropped one of your 3 fifth-round picks. Now you got 3 seventh-round picks. You can still throw a mega offer to a team. So I still think a deal could happen at the cornerback spot. We see Kill Artist saying need 2 CBs. Yeah, we probably do need 2 cornerbacks. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I am very optimistic about this year. I think it's going to be a special season for the Vikings. Now, will they go win 14 games like they did this previous season? Probably not. That's high expectations. But, man, if they win 11 games, even 10 games, and you get a playoff win, I think that's a very successful year. But that is my expectation. That is, like, I would be disappointed if the Vikings didn't win a playoff game this upcoming season. I know that's, maybe unfair to McCarthy. First year starting, he's 22 years old, but that's how good this football team is. You got one of the best coaching staffs in the league. You got one of the best overall rosters in the league. Like, you think about this offense now, there's not a single hole at all offensively, especially once Addison comes back. You got a great trio, 2 good backs, great offensive line, great play caller, and you got a quarterback that I personally believe in a whole lot. Combine all that up with what Brian Flores is cooking defensively, you could potentially have a top 5 defense, top 5 offense. That equates to potentially a Super Bowl run for us Vikings fans. But we got Z Cool coming in, man, with a $10 super chat. I appreciate you, man. Saying the real ones chime in. Skull, number 19, Super Bowl ring next. That would be so nice, man. So nice. But Z Cool, I appreciate you. Everybody show Z Cool some love down below in the comment section for supporting today's show. Give me a Skull Z Cool down below. Is Eric Vikings fan saying, Seeps, what's good, my dude? What a great day to be a Vikings fan. I just got an extra pep in my step today. It feels good, man. Adam Thielen coming back. Can't believe it actually happened because people were suggesting that this wasn't going to be a move. Adam Schefter, Josina Anderson, Diana Rossini saying the 2 sides are very far apart. And then what do you know? Adam Thielen gets traded to the Vikings. But this was a tweet that Schefter had saying the Vikings and Panthers have tried to work out a trade for Carolina wide receiver Adam Thielen, who would like to return to Minnesota, but the 2 sides continue to struggle to agree on compensation. So when we got this report, I was saying absolutely not. Like I could see this dragging out. I don't see why Carolina would want to move off him, but then we got this bombshell this morning at 8:46, homecoming. Panthers and Vikings are finalizing a trade for wide receiver Adam Thielen to return to Minnesota. And why are the Vikings trading for Adam Thielen? Because of this. Still got Justin Jefferson coming off that hamstring injury. Addison obviously suspended for the first 3 games. Jalen Naylor recovering from that hand injury. And then Rondale Moore suffered a season-ending knee injury. So they had to make a move at wide receiver. Now, yes, did they – like a 4th-round pick necessarily is what the Vikings gave up, a late 4th-round pick. Yes, that is a lot for a 35-year-old wide receiver. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, did they overpay a little bit? Yes, 110%. But also, the Vikings are in a position to overpay. I understand people, they cling on to these draft picks and they're like, we can't give these up. We can't give these up. One, our GM has not drafted well at all. So giving up a 4th-round pick that you necessarily got for letting Daniel Jones walk out the door this year in free agency, I think it's a home run move. Like, think about this. The Philadelphia Eagles last year, they traded a 3rd-round pick for Jahan Dotson. Did that affect their season? No, they went on and won a Super Bowl. So for people complaining about draft capital, I just disagree. Now, listen, if the Vikings were in a spot where let's just say we were like the New Orleans Saints, for example. We had no chance of winning, anything this upcoming season. They give up a fourth necessary for Thielen. Yeah, I would be upset. But you view this as a championship contending team. You cannot just let these first 3 weeks just kind of throw them out the door and be like, hey, we'll try our best. You need to give JJ McCarthy help, especially early on in the season. He's going to be going up against a tough matchup on the road against the Chicago Bears. You just need another guy in that room. And this guy, Adam Thielen, still very productive. Like back in 2023, this guy was fantastic. Over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, found the end zone 4 times. And even this past year in just 10 games, 48 receptions, over 615 yards, had 5 touchdowns as well. So this guy still got it, and obviously we know what he did in his time in Minnesota in 135 games played. This guy was an absolute baller for this football team. Over 6,600 yards in his career with the Minnesota Vikings. Found the end zone 55 times. This guy is just, everything you would want in a wide receiver too. He's going to just run the right routes. He's going to be in the right position at the right time. Anytime the ball is thrown his way, he's going to catch that football. So I think this was, perfect, not only just for like the storyline side of it, of you're bringing back a guy who understands offense. It just made way too much sense. The Vikings needed a wide receiver. They needed somebody who can come in right away, understand the playbook. Thielen can do that. Because even if, let's just say, you go out there and trade for Jacoby Myers, you go out there and trade for an Alec Pierce, it would take them some time to understand the Kevin O'Connell playbook. Players have talked about it. It's a tough offense to understand, and Thielen just made way too much sense. So I love this move. Pat, imagine Thielen in a winter whiteout jersey. I can't wait. Thielen, that's a good point. Thielen hasn't been able to wear the Winter Warrior jerseys yet. So Christmas Day, we'll see him unveil that. But see people asking about Stephon Gilmore. If the Vikings think Stephon Gilmore is going to fix the cornerback issue, I would very much disagree with that. I'm cool on them not bringing back Stephon Gilmore because I don't want him out there on the football field, frankly. He did not look good at the second half of last year. I honestly think Gilmore's got a good chance to retire eventually, but there should make a move at the cornerback room because this is all we got left. There's just 4 guys right there. Byron Murphy, Isaiah Rodgers, Jeff Okudah, and Dwight McGlothern. So they're going to have to make a move for a corner. I am praying it is not just Stephon Gilmore. Kind of like what I was saying about KJ Osborne, where if they thought KJ Osborne was going to fix the wide receiver room, that's just bad process. And I can say the same thing for Stephon Gilmore. So I think they'll make a bigger move at that spot. But again, there's not a whole lot of just, cornerbacks out there that are available to be traded. Like a Trayvon Diggs type of move. But again, the Cowboys aren't going to give him up before the season. And, he would be an upgrade over a couple of these guys. But I just think that's a little unlikely. So we'll see. I'm sure Kwesi's calling a bunch of teams for another corner. But, hey, speaking about the trade, you guys grade it for me down below as 61% say this was an A move. 33% say B. As we are getting reports here, the Vikings had expressed interest in Kendrick Bourne prior to the Adam Thielen trade, and he just got released. So maybe the Vikings will make another move at wide receiver for Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, he just got released. As also MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, went to the San Francisco 49ers. Some moves being dropped right now, but we got a bunch of A's rolling in. CIC Gamer saying A. Minnesota Vikings fans saying A. ESPN graded this trade today. A- for the Vikings. Panthers C+. Big O saying A. And yeah, JFR. Apparently the Vikings could have some interest in Kendrick Bourne. I don't know if that changes after obviously the Thielen move, but they were trying to trade for him before. So we'll see if the Vikings maintain their interest in the wide receiver market. I'm assuming they'll be all good, but we shall see. We shall see. Adam Thielen stat prediction for this season. I'm going to go, I don't know, I feel like he'll be anywhere between like 500 to 700 yards for this team. Hopefully finds the end zone about 7 times. But we'll see. We'll see. What do you think about Carson Wentz? I like the move. The Vikings needed to add another veteran to that room. Because, listen, obviously we all love Brosmer, we all love McCarthy, but they're both necessarily rookies. They haven't gone throughout a whole NFL season. So Wentz being with the Kansas City Chiefs this past year, I like that he kind of has that Super Bowl run experience. So I like it. And plus, let's just say hypothetically, JJ has to miss a game. I'm still assuming Carson Wentz gets the nod. I don't know if they would go Brosmer right away, but I think they would go Wentz here in this spot. I don't know. You guys let me know. If the JJ had to miss a game, who should be QB2, Wentz or Brosmer? You guys let me know your thoughts down below. Hold on. You guys are all going Mad Max there. Now, listen, I love the Max Brosmer hype train, but I still think Wentz would get the nod, at least for one game. But if it's early on in the season, Wentz isn't, up to speed with the offense, maybe they do just go Brosmer, but also Wentz was with the Rams in 2023, so this should be very similar for him to pick up on it. And yeah, Elijah Thomas saying, Pat, imagine Thielen in a winter whiteout jersey. I can't wait to see that, man. Christmas Day, Thielen playing the Lions. When will Thielen's first touchdown be? That's a good question. Imagine it's week 1 against the Bears. He had that nasty one-hander against the Bears a couple of seasons ago. So we'll see what happens, man. But Adam Thielen returns. Great time to be a Vikings fan. This is just awesome. Awesome stuff. Montana reaction saying week 3 for Thielen's first touchdown. What if it's Sunday Night Football, week 2, back in the bank? That would be chills. I think, you know what the Vikings should do? See a lot of people ragging on Mrs. Thielen on Twitter today. They should have her blow the gal horn. I think she should blow the gal horn Sunday Night Football week 2. Or Jamie Erdahl returns. She did it last Sunday night last year against the Indianapolis Colts, and the Vikings ripped off, I think, 9 straight wins after that. So, man, I can't wait. I expect Jordan Mason to get in the paint week 1. That's actually one of my favorite bets for that game. And now it just, comes down to the cornerback position, Vikings. Vikings got to make a move there. Juju Brents, maybe, just got released from the Colts, but I could also see Noah Igbenogany, Commanders corner. Apparently teams were trying to call about him. Flores drafted him in the first round back when he was with the Dolphins, so guessing Flores would have some interest there. But the guy I'm keeping my eye out on is Alontae Taylor. The Saints should be selling, even though they keep making moves where you would think they're trying to win games this year, even though they shouldn't. So guessing the Vikings will start to call around at the cornerback position unless they just really trust Jeff Okudah. Like, you got to have a lot of faith in Isaiah Rodgers and Okudah if you're not going to make a move. So, appreciate you guys telling people to subscribe. But, hey, we're closing in on 59,000 subscribers. You guys could hit that subscribe button today. I'd appreciate it. One more wide receiver. Someone might get hurt. Maybe they go out and try to get, Kendrick Bourne. Just getting reports that the Vikings were interested in him. Minnesota Vikings fans saying, I hope our GM is looking at CBs. He 100% is. There's no doubt in my mind that Kwesi, you just can't be comfortable with that cornerback room right now. Now, I was originally saying the Vikings should not go out there and get KJ Osborne. But now with this Adam Thielen move, why not just make it a full-on reunion here? I think KJ would be a hell of a wide receiver 3 for at least the first 3 weeks. Then once Addison and Naylor come back, then KJ can kind of just be your 5th, 6th, 4th wide receiver. But, man, when you have those 3 out there of Jefferson, Thielen, and Addison, it's going to be special, special stuff. So I can't wait to see it happen, man. And, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. But if you guys want to get your thoughts up on screen, hit that Super Chat icon down below at the bottom of the live chat. We can chop it up with whatever you guys got to say. Shout out to Z Cool, already sent a Super Chat in there. But I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll stay live as long as we're getting Super Chats and you guys are having fun supporting the show. People are asking about Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel, he might have to medically retire. He's going to get another update on that neck shoulder injury he's been dealing with, and he wouldn't be ready to go until October. So I think Asante Samuel's out of the cards. Remember that one crazy tip that the Score North podcast got about Asante Samuel wearing a Vikings hat in a nightclub in Miami? That feels like it was, years ago. But we all thought Asante was going to sign after the draft, but ended up not being the case. Do you think Adam will get the captain this season? I don't know. That's a good question. I doubt it, but you never know. Also, it's going to be sweet. Thielen's still going to be rocking 19. Not official yet, but it was Dante Fleming wearing it. Got to assume Thielen's going to be rocking 19 again. So it would be weird seeing him in another number, I will say. So hopefully he gets that 19 jersey back. So we'll wait and see. But we do have Minnesota Vikings fan, 1967, coming in with a $10 Super Chat. We appreciate you, Todd. Everybody give me a scold Todd down below in the comment section as he says, I think Asante is a bad choice. I'm with you. The guy's banged up. He's a solid corner when he is healthy, but he's not really moving the needle by any means for this cornerback room. I think there's a bigger fish out there. Who is that bigger fish? Really no idea. There hasn't been too much buzz around the cornerback trade market. You rarely see corners get traded, especially premium ones. So I think the Vikings, if they do go out there and get a corner, you're going to have to overpay. But again, with the situation the Vikings are in right now, you can overpay. Like, you can go be aggressive. You are in a spot where you really feel like you can go win a Super Bowl. The Eagles gave up a third-round pick for Jahan Dotson, and that didn't work out, and they're still okay. You can be aggressive, and it's not like the GM can draft anyways. So might as well say after them picks, go out there, get a top-tier corner, just to add some depth. Like, I'm not saying you got to go get like a true CB1 here, because those guys aren't really available. Just go get a solid CB2. Go get a solid CB3. I think that could work out. No, Todd, I'm with you. I'm definitely worried about the cornerback room. Like, this isn't an issue the Vikings and us Vikings fans should just ignore. This is something the Vikings are going to have to make a move because, let's just say Byron Murphy's banged up and he's got to miss a couple of weeks. What are you doing? Are you then going to have to panic during the season and go make a trade? Then it's just harder to pull off a move. And plus, if you go trade for a corner mid-season, they're going to have to pick up that Brian Flores defense instantly. So you're an injury away from this, like, not even just being an issue, for this being a hit the panic button. You got to go do whatever you can to go trade for another corner. What do you think about Shiloh Sanders? I'm okay. Vikings do not need Shiloh whatsoever. Is Price going to change his number? I'm not a fan of him wearing 31. TBD. Haven't heard anything yet. You don't like the 31 Miles Price jerseys? I kind of like it for a punt returner. Who knows? Maybe makes that 31 jersey special, and we're rocking those 31 Price jerseys eventually down the line. If I see Harrison Smith hold the Lombardi Trophy, I'm gonna cry, dude. Vikings make the NFC Championship game with Thielen and Harrison Smith. I'm gonna be bawling my eyes out. I'm gonna be an emotional wreck if the Vikings go on a run this year, just with how special this season already feels. We haven't played a game yet, but it all starts week 1, man. Starts week 1 in Chicago, taking on the Bears, division rival Adam Thielen. Like, I can't wait. I'm gonna be sitting in this exact spot. ESPN's gonna be on. Adam Thielen's going to be warming up, looking good with Justin Jefferson. They're probably going to be practicing their gritties. Could you imagine a white boy Adam Thielen gritty week 1 against the Chicago Bears? Chills. Absolute chills. Oh, I'll cry like a baby, Todd. There's no doubt in my mind. Yeah, I've been waiting a long time. I'm only 25 years old. I turned 26 in October, and I've already experienced the PTSD that Vikings fans have from the past. I can't imagine if you're an older Vikings fan, because I didn't get to really experience 98 with Gary Anderson. I was born in 99. Went back and watched that whole thing, but I couldn't imagine that. But I already went through 2009 with Favre thrown across his body. Blair Walsh. Frickin' Blair Walsh. That's all I got to say on that. But, man, I'm just happy, man. Yeah, I know that stings. Zeke Cool saying 43 years of being a Vikings fan, hard times, but been bleeding purple since birth. It's just going to be a fun season, man. And, God, that just looks unreal. This is not a Photoshop, by the way. This is real. Number 18 and number 19 rolling into week 1 against the Bears. It's going to be awesome, awesome stuff. Happy early birthday, Pat. Hey, I appreciate you. Still got a couple months till I turn the big old 2-6. But, I'm excited. Getting old. I started doing these videos here when I was 22 years old, so definitely been a long time coming. I was born in 91, 98 had me hooked. Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine going through that. Gary Anderson doesn't miss a kick the entire season. Has a chance to send the Vikings to the Super Bowl and shanks it. I'm sorry for bringing this up, but Vikings fans have to have experienced the toughest heartbreaks out of any NFL fan base over the last 30 years. Just the brutal playoff losses. Like, even the Giants loss, like, that one stung for a little bit. The Rams lost this past year. It hurt, but it was also just the end of the Sam Darnold era, so it wasn't, like, it didn't, like, rip my heart out. Like, the Blair Walsh kick, that ripped my heart out, even though the Vikings, they would have had to go play Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers team that year. Probably would have lost that game anyways, but that one hurt. Like, the playoff loss to the Niners, that one stung a little bit just because the Vikings had a chance in that game. Stephon Diggs had a touchdown on the first drive, and we're up 7-0. I'm like, oh, my God, here we go. And then Kirk Cousins completely pissed down his leg the rest of that game. Yeah, the Bounty Gate 2009, like, you have all this heartbreak, and then you have, like, this feeling of Adam Thielen, Harrison Smith, all these lifelong Vikings fans. Like, this season will just start to feel special, man. And I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, that's why I love doing what I do here, is just because I get to experience with all of you guys, like making videos every single day. Like, I wake up every single day fired up to go to work and just chop it up with you guys. And I cannot wait for this season. It is going to be absolutely just magical. It's going to be a magical year. And I can't wait for it, man. Z Cool saying Gary Anderson watched Ace Ventura's Pet Detective one too many times. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I chug the purple Kool-Aid every year. Yeah, you guys know I do as well. I thought the Vikes were going to a Super Bowl last year. If you would have just won Week 18 against the Lions, maybe you would have had a chance. But again, butterfly door effect. Vikings win Week 18 versus the Lions. Sam Darnold's probably our starting quarterback this year, but now we turn the keys of the franchise over to JJ McCarthy, and he is sitting pretty. He's got all the weapons he can imagine. He's got Kevin O'Connell. He's got a top 5 defense. Like, everything is set up. And I find it so funny when people talk about the Vikings, because it is predictions week across NFL media. So everybody's saying, who's going to finish last in the NFC North, and most people are picking the Vikings yet again to finish last in this division. I think that is one of the worst takes you can have out there. And it's cool. If you don't believe in JJ McCarthy, that's fine. But still, if you don't believe in JJ, the floor for this team is 7-8 wins. You have, in my opinion, a top 5 roster in the entire NFL, top to bottom. You got a top 5 coaching staff. So your floor is incredibly high, and everybody likes saying, well, what if JJ McCarthy doesn't work out? What if he does? What if he is a top 10 quarterback right away this season, and he even exceeds my expectations for him? What are we saying about this football team? Like, what if you just had C.J. Stroud on this team? People are saying they should probably go to the Super Bowl this year. The same thing could start to happen with this team if JJ really hits the ground running. I think he will. JJ's not a normal dude, man. This guy's different. You guys are going to really start buying on this guy. I already feel like people are. Like, he's obviously a great kid. He's, great in the press conferences and everything. He's great with the fans, but you guys are going to see it on the field. This guy's got a cannon of an arm, unreal arm talent. Now, there will be growing pains. He'll throw a couple of picks early on in the season. We're like, what the hell are you looking at number 9? But then again, on the other side, he'll have a couple throws. You're like, holy shit, I see why the Vikings took him in the top 10 2 years ago. I saw something that said the Vikings were the 28th best roster. I mean, that's just insane. I don't know how anybody could possibly say that. Like, you think about just offensively. There is not a single position on offense where you're not feeling comfortable about him. The only one would be left guard, but you got a first-round pick starting there year 1. Defensively, yes, the cornerback group, but you love the linebackers. You absolutely love the defensive line. You love the safety group. Besides corner, that's the only, hole on this roster. It's tough to nitpick this football team. And at the end of the day, coaching matters so much in the NFL. I think coaching is 50% of it. And when you got Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell calling the shots on either side of the football, high expectations for this team. High expectations, and you guys should as well. Get ready to get your heart broken. I'm all the way in. I'm ready to be disappointed. But I think this team's got a chance, man. They got a chance to win this division. They got a chance, go make something happen. And, we'll see if the Vikings end up doing it. But, yeah, I believe right now the Vikings should have $24.5 million in cap to spend. This was the trade ammunition before the Thielen trade. Now, they actually they're back up to 11 picks here in 2026, and they should have $24.5 million in cap space to spend. So here's the updated look at it. So the Vikings still have all the ammunition they can to go make a trade. So if there's another corner out there, or maybe another wide receiver, you could just send a couple of 6th-round picks, go get a guy you like, be the wide receiver 3. You can get aggressive. Like, the Vikings are at that spot where, always make this comparison where it's like you got the cake, you got the frosting, you got the sprinkles. The Vikings are just adding cherries on top right now. And that's a great spot to be in. We haven't been in this spot for a very long time as Vikings fans, probably since 2017, where we thought the Kirk Cousins move was going to get us over the top. Now we're just looking to get players that will help us get better on the margins. Is it possible for all NFC North teams to make the playoffs? It's possible, but very unlikely. Especially with like the NFC East will probably you gotta if that's your take, then you gotta assume the Commanders completely fall off. Eagles run away with that division. No other teams in the NFC South. No other teams in the NFC West. Definitely on the table. I still think it's the best division in football. I see people pulling off that take, saying like, "Oh, the AFC West is going to be better." I completely disagree. I don't think the Broncos are going to be as good as people think. I think they're probably going to be a 7, 8, 9 win football team. Their floor is very high as well, but I just don't really see it with Denver. Denver against playoff teams last year went 2-6. They only beat 2 starting quarterbacks from this previous season, and that being Baker Mayfield and Aaron Rodgers. I'm not really too sold on Denver. I think this division is fantastic still. Like even the Bears, they're not going to be an easy out any given week. So I think the North is, it's obviously going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how it shakes out. But I will say the favorite for the division, it rightfully should be the Detroit Lions. They are still a wagon. I understand they lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and we will see that impact. But their defense is way better than people think. Their secondary is one of the best in the National Football League. And if Aiden Hutchinson looks like who he was before he got hurt last year, which was a Defensive Player of the Year-esque run, Lions should be very good. But if I had to say it, I put money on it. I think the Vikes will win the division. Lions come in second, still make the playoffs. I think the Packers will make the playoffs as well. And then it'll be the Chicago Bears. I think they'll miss it again. But I do think the Bears will be like a feisty 7-10 team where it will be a good building block year. But it's just a tough offense to pick up. I don't love the marriage of Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams just like a backyard football artist, and Ben Johnson wants his quarterback, on time, on script, all the time. And I think that marriage I think it will eventually work, but it may just go through some growing pains early on in the season. But hey, first 3 games for the Vikings. This is when you're without Jordan Addison. As Elijah asking, Pat, should we sign Mike Hilton? Probably good on Mike Hilton. Again, if you're making a move for a corner, it's got to be a big name guy, or at least just somebody who you can trust starting right away if the Jeff Okudah experiment doesn't go too well. But the first 3 games for the Vikings, you're in Chicago on Monday night. You should win that one. I understand that's a tough road divisional game, but I fully expect the Vikings to come out there with a win. That would be a big Brian Flores game. I think that's going to be, if I had to call the early MVP for this game, it would be Jonathan Grenard. Bears are still having left tackle issues. Nobody in the league can block this guy. I think he is the most underrated player in the NFL because people view him as like a borderline top 10 edge rusher. And hey, there are a lot of good edges in the league. You can call him that, but I think when it's all said and done after the season, people are like, oh man, Grenard's had 3 straight seasons of 12-plus sacks. He'll be skyrocketing up those rankings. And week 2 against the Falcons don't have their left tackle. Grenard should eat in that one. Bengals, terrible defense, terrible offensive line. Like the Vikings, I know it sounds crazy. There's a chance they start 5-0 again this year. Because then you got the Steelers and the Browns 2 games after. I think it's fully on the table. And then the schedule gets really tough. Because coming out of that bye, could you imagine 5-0 Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Super Bowl champion Eagles in US Bank Stadium? That place would be absolutely humming. But then you go like Ravens, Lions 2 times. Still got the Packers 2 times. You got the Commanders. You're in Seattle taking on Darnold. So starting this season hot will be huge. Hey, you could bring back Cam Dantzler or Duke Shelley. I'm sure they'll fix the cornerback issues right up. There's no chance Brian Flores would ever let Duke Shelley play on his team. It's like the polar opposite of a Brian Flores corner. But, hey, Duke Shelley, that little Lynn Sandy run he had with the Vikings was unbelievable. Yeah, but here will be the Week 1 depth chart. I'm assuming at the wide receiver position for the Vikes. Guessing the wide receiver 3 spot. Again, they can make a move for a KJ Osborne, but right now I'm assuming it will be Ty Felton just because I think Miles Price and Tim Jones are just special teams guys. Quinn saying, I will cheer who is in for JJ, but hopefully doesn't happen. Yeah, I mean, JJ hopefully stays healthy the entire season. Pat, should the Vikings sign or trade for anyone else? If so, who? I honestly don't have a name for you guys, but 100% a cornerback. Now, I don't think there's a corner out there that you could sign that will change life in this room. Like a Stephon Gilmore move, I would honestly be against it. I don't want Gilmore playing. Like, I understand that'll be a good depth piece, but still, when he's out there, he'll be a negative out there on the football field. I understand, still very smart corner. Like, he can do a good job on, like, the middle of the pack wideouts, but when he's going against some of the top guys in the league, he really struggled last year. So Gilmore, I'm okay on. And plus, if you look at the wide receivers in the NFC North, man, it's a little concerning the Vikings are treating the cornerback room like this. Because when you're playing the Lions, okay, you got to go deal with Laporta, Amon-Ra, J-Mo. Playing the Bears, I mean, they gave Caleb Williams every weapon you could want imaginable. Loveland, DJ Moore, Rome, Luther Burden, Zacchaeus, and then even Green Bay now with Matthew Golden. As the Vikings and Thielen are working on a revised contract, the final value is expected to be less than $7 million. So maybe the Vikings will have more cap space, we think. I'm guessing they'll probably give the Vikes probably still have around 27, 28 million. I'm guessing the Vikes would give Thielen maybe a 2 for 12 deal attached onto his contract. It's Bryce saying, what are your thoughts on Asante Samuel? I'm okay on Asante. He wouldn't be ready to go until October. So I think the Vikings would just pass on that. Now, he would be a good scheme fit, but yeah, here's another guy. Greg Newsome. This would be a home run trade for the Minnesota Vikings. Talking about an intelligent corner, played at Northwestern, very versatile, can play inside, can play outside. So this would be a trade I'd be all in on. Or what about a little Denzel Ward? You just go big fish hunting. Eff it. Give the Browns a first-round pick. It's going to be pick 30 anyways for Denzel. I'd be in on it. Elijah Thomas, yeah, Rippon got cut. What if we still had Kyrie Jackson? I mean, yeah, it could all be different right now. Eli Apple, Kendall Fuller, no. Again, like the Vikings are in a spot, if you're adding another corner, it's got to be a proven commodity. It's got to be a guy immediately, day one impact, where like, oh, this defense is going to another level. You go get Greg Newsome. You talk about holes on this roster, there would be zero. There would be goose egg. So I would be in on it. If you're still waiting for waivers to come in, I don't really think any team claimed anybody off waivers, which is a little interesting. Impact corner, stay put. Yeah, I'm with you. Just because of the position the Vikings are in. Like, if they were in a different spot, like I said, and they weren't having these championship expectations, then yes, just go bring in some depth because you're going to need more guys. But you got to go big fish hunting. And Thielen, necessarily only giving a 4th-round pick for him, I'll take it. You still got a lot of draft capital, a lot of cap space. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Did Asamoah get cut? I didn't even know. I didn't even mind the check if he made the Titans roster. But yeah, I mean, you think about it. Getting a 6th-round pick for Blackman when you were going to cut him anyways. Getting 2-6 from the Jets for Harrison Phillips, which I still think that was a win-win trade for both sides. Like, Harrison Phillips would do great things with the Jets. They needed another defensive tackle. Great locker room guy there. Still think Alec Pierce would be a good project. Listen, I would have been all in on Alec Pierce if this trade didn't go down, but I don't think there is another wide receiver trade. If they're going to bring in another wideout, I would expect it to be like a Brandon Powell or a KJ Osborne, just a guy that knows the system, can be that wide receiver 3 for the first 3 weeks, and then you can necessarily just cut him once Addison gets back. No, I hear you. Listen, Gilmore would be great in the locker room. He would be a great leader, but I just don't want him out there on the football field. Like, same with Patrick Peterson. Those guys are just not they're just not NFL starting corners anymore, and that's okay. Like, Gilmore was awesome for the Vikings last year, but he also got beat a whole lot. There was a big reason why the passing defense was one of the worst in the league. Now, yes, it was because the Vikings were up in a lot of those games, but also Gilmore got beat a whole lot. So I'd be more than okay with the Vikings not bringing back Stephon Gilmore, but we joked about it all offseason. Could just be a call you make in August to bring in Gilmore to Minnesota. Asamoah did get waived by the Titans, so didn't lose any players there. Yeah, I mean, technically we do have one good corner in Murphy. I'm assuming Isaiah Rodgers will have a good year. Like, Flores has been raving about this guy, and Flores knows more about football, and especially the cornerback position, than all of us watching today's live show combined. So I'm assuming there'll be another move for the cornerback spot. Cordarrelle Patterson, bring back CP84. Just bring them all back. Eric Kendricks, he's still playing. Bring him back. Linval Joseph. Why not? Why not? Hopefully some good players fall in the 2026 draft. Yeah, the Vikings, you're going to think about next year's draft. We're going to have to wait till pick 32 to make our first round selection. It's going to it's gonna be a while. Dear God, please don't go to. Yeah, I think we're okay on Patterson. I think we're okay. Trade for Surtain, I wish. Not gonna happen. Broncos will not give him up for multiple first-round picks. Toby Gerhart, yeah, bring back Toby. Rasul Douglas signed with the Dolphins, so he's off the table. That would have been a good. That would have been another good option. He broke my heart. Yeah. Shout out to CP though. Yeah. What about Xavier Rhodes? Xavier Rhodes still kicking it. Rhodes closed. Bring him back. That would be a good move. Why not? Yeah, 100%. Broncos are not trading Surtain unless you give them Jefferson and like a couple first-round picks. Like that's like Surtain is their Jefferson. So they're not gonna give him up. Is this the year? We'll see, man. It all comes down to number 9. If number 9 is ready to go, year 1 starting, then yeah, it very well could be. But then again, guys, we talk about this cornerback room. What if Okudah is just good? What if Isaiah Rodgers is just good? Who the hell knows? Elijah Riley is a free agent CB right now. He played for the Steelers and Jets. Yeah, again, like those guys like that, I'm cool with the Vikings not making, any moves here unless it's for a big name corner. Yeah, I think that's what I would agree with Jacob is like you should try to trade for a guy that could hypothetically be your cornerback 2, but ideally Isaiah Rodgers works out. He's your cornerback 2, and then the guy you trade for is your cornerback 3, and then Okudah is just kind of, project for Flores. If he ends up showing, good stuff at practice, good stuff in the limited reps he gets, then maybe he could be on the table. But hey, if you guys got any questions for me, use #Vikings or Super Chat to get up on the show. I already had 2 people Super Chat today, so we appreciate you. But if you guys want to get your questions or thoughts up on screen, that would be absolutely awesome stuff. Could try getting J.C. Horn. I wish, but they paid J.C. Horn this offseason. And I don't think Kwesi and the Panthers GM have too good of a relationship. I'm assuming this Thielen trade got a little sticky when they were trying to determine draft compensation. Tommy Wood, what's going on, man? Skull Pat, thanks, Big Dog. Thanks to you, Big Dog, for tuning in today. But again, if you guys got a question for me, Super Chat to get up on the show. I would greatly appreciate it. It's just a dollar icon at the bottom of the live chat. We are going to be going live tomorrow on the show at about 4 p.m. Central Time. So if you guys want to tune in, then that would be greatly appreciated. Maybe Javon Holland. No, he's probably not on the table. Giants just paid him a good amount of money. So as claims are starting to come in, the Titans have claimed a Vikings linebacker, Dorian Mousey. Okay, I guess he's going to make the Titans 53-man roster. That is a shocker, no doubt about it. So the waiver claims are starting to come in now. Maybe the Vikings sign a corner. That would be sick. Xavier Rhodes hasn't retired. Who knows? Who knows? Justin Simmons and let Metellus play CB. Don't hate that idea. Actually, don't hate that at all. Gabe Murphy get claimed? No, I have not seen anything about that. X is vibing. That would be huge. That would be huge. If we could somehow get Gabe Murphy back on the practice squad. But I'm assuming he gets picked up somewhere. Gabe Murphy showed some great stuff in the preseason. But we do have a $2 super chat coming in from my guy, Peace and Love 420. Shout out to you saying, I got kids. I got to be cheap. But here, Skull, shout out to you, man. Don't worry about it at all. I appreciate you sending those $2. Everybody give me a Skull piece down below in the comment section. Show him some love. Appreciate you. Exciting times, man. Exciting times. As yeah, you can shift Metellus anywhere. Metellus can play anywhere on the football field. In one of your recent vids, you were talking about why trading for the Vikings wouldn't be such a great move. So how happy are you? Yeah, well, originally I was saying, like, I would have liked the Vikings go more big fish hunting at the wide receiver position, like maybe an Alec Pierce, maybe a Jacoby Myers. But with the move they just made with Thielen, just necessarily give him a 4th-round pick. Again, that's a little bit of an overpay, but the more I started to think about it is, like, you had to overpay. Like, you weren't going to get equal value on this deal, so I didn't mind it whatsoever. Plus, this keeps us flexible with trading for a corner because you still got 11 draft picks in 26. Still going to have around $25 to $27 million to spend for this year. So, yeah, let Jefferson play both ways. You think Jefferson can play some corner? We're 50 million over next year. Got to roll some of that over. Yeah, and they fully will. Like, even if you bring in a guy that's making $12 million a year, you can still roll that $15 million over. You can also, like, let's just say they cut Ryan Kelly. Maybe even they cut Javon Hargrave, who's on necessarily a one-for-one deal. Like, there are ways to, work that out. Now, will the Vikings be big spenders in free agency next year? Absolutely not. So maybe the Vikings are also trying to accumulate draft picks just to eventually hit on a couple of these guys, get those young rookies on those cost-controlled deals. So that very well could be on the table. I meant trading for Thielen. I'm sorry. Oh, don't worry about it, Vikings fan. Shout out to you. Yeah, and also I trust the Vikings front office to fix the cap space situation. No doubt about it. Well, hey, listen, I'm going to put on a little 2-minute shot clock on my phone because we do have some other videos we need to get done. Want to get you guys some more content around the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to put a 2-minute shot clock on. If we don't get any more super chats, we're going to sign off here. Watch out for videos later on today, and we also we will be going live tomorrow on the channel. But, hey, if you guys want to stay live, send in a super chat. We'll stay live as long as you guys want, but we got some other content we need to get out here at Chat Sports. As people are saying for Kobe Bryant, yeah, we were all big on him coming out of the draft, but I don't know. There's a reason he went undrafted. There's a reason the Falcons let him go. How happy are you with the Thielen trade? 1 to 10? Probably say a 9. I mean, this is a move that needed to be done. Like, he understands offense, understands the culture. I'm cool with it. You give a 4th-round pick. Is it a little much? Yes, but also I think it's I think that 4th-round pick is fully worth it for the first 3 weeks. Like, just the value you're going to get out of Adam Thielen during those first 3 games will be massive. And, once Addison comes back, you got one of the best trios in the National Football League. And also, I was thinking about this last night. Everybody is anticipating the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell to fully change the offensive philosophy of, leaning more into the run and, not throwing it all over the lot like they've been doing the last 3 years under KOC. I fully expect it to change a little bit. I don't think it's going to be as much as we think. I could see JJ McCarthy coming out week 1 throwing the ball 30-plus times. Because you know why? Who's the best player on the field every single time the Vikings are out there? It's Justin Jefferson. So to think that they're just going to completely go away from the passing game and go like old school, like 1980s football, I think we maybe have overblown that a little bit. And plus with them bringing in Adam Thielen, like you still have TJ Hawkinson. Like you got a lot of guys to get the ball out to. I think the Vikings, they'll still be passing the ball a whole lot. Now, I think the running game, it just comes out to being more productive. Because the Vikings, there were some games last year where I was kind of getting critical of KOC, where almost he was trying to lean too much into the run. It's like, dude, you're running behind Dalton Risner, Garrett Bradbury, and Blake Brandel right now. Like, stop trying to run the ball up the middle. It's going nowhere. So maybe the Vikings try to change that just a little bit, but I think it just comes down to being, more productive when you are running the football. But hey, we're going to get on out of here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Just wanted to chop it up with you guys, talk about the Thielen trade. Thanks for everybody hanging out with us for the last hour or so. As actually, 1 second before we get out of here, waiver claims are in, and we also just got a super chat from Sparty Joe, so we'll stay alive for a couple more minutes here. Appreciate you guys, but waiver claims are in. See if the Vikings made any. The New York Jets made. They got Woods. Yeah. I'm guessing. Also got Cam Jones, a linebacker, and a tackle. So they spent 3 claims. The Patriots got DeVito. No way. Saints got Trey Palmer. No Vikings waiver claims today. No waiver claims for the Vikings. Sparty Joe saying, I found $10 on the ground, so I'll give you 5. Oh, well, stay blessed. You stay blessed as well, Sparty Joe. Appreciate you. That is awesome. Shout out to you, man. That's hilarious. DeVito to the Patriots. Wow. Yeah, so no waiver claims for the Vikings. Cowboys picked up Reddy Stewart? No way. All right, so 2 Vikings got claimed. All right, so no claims for the Minnesota Vikings. Juju Brents, I know people are asking about him. Dolphins ended up claiming him. Bernard Converse went to the Browns. So the Vikings don't pick up anybody on waivers. What about Jalen Johnson? Bears aren't giving him up. And even if he was, there's no chance Bears trade him to the Minnesota Vikings. Shout out to Larry in the building. Vikings got to trade for a guy. I don't know who it is. Honestly, video later today. Watch out for like 5 o'clock. I'm going to be talking about the Vikings trading for a corner. We'll do that video later today. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Actually, we got 200 people in the building right now. Just hit that notification bell. You guys will get notified any single time we post a video. It really does help us out as well. So I'd appreciate it if you guys could do that. And then later today, video on the cornerback spot. Thielen trade's great. One step closer to completing this roster, but still a massive hole at that cornerback position, especially with the Vikes not making any moves on waivers. As Patch saying, do you think we overpaid? Yeah, a little bit, but I'm cool with the Vikings overpaying. You need to make this move, and it was a good move. So, all right, we're going to get on out of here. We got to go do some stuff with waiver claims coming out, but watch out for a video later today at around 5 o'clock. We'll be talking about the cornerback position, but really do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to all the real ones, and we will see you guys next time. Skol Vikes.